Hello, everybody. So I'm making this video again. I was actually on live, and I was expressing this to my live audience, and I'm here right now just to make sure like it didn't fall upon deaf ears. um, so pretty much what I was talking about was I labeled it taboo topics, and I was pretty much just expressing something that came to me, and it comes to me quite often. It's like something that happens that I always tend to think about from time to time, and it was pretty much something I experienced when uh, a few years back when I so happened to be at a Metro Park, right? And I'll explain um, exactly what I mean by taboo and why I labeled it taboo. But anyways, it was a it was a it was an experience that I had when I was at a Metro Park when I met someone. It was a young lady with her, and she had her child with her, and it was it was her son. But long story short, I can't remember if I initiated the conversation or it was initiated by her, but I guess I said hi to her, and she responded pretty well, very well. She was very friendly, and so I asked her. I don't know how exactly the conversation went. Like I said, that initiated it, but I asked her, did she have a husband? And she's like, yeah. She said, yeah. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Oh, and I think I mentioned this story in one of my videos prior, but it wasn't much of a more so of a ranting kind of a manner. So right now I want to tell this story in such a more a clearer, you know, more neutral way. So back to my story. I asked her, did she have a husband, and she replied yes, and that 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 led me to be like, oh well, you know, excuse me. And she was like, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay. I was like, okay. So mind you, her son was just around, not too far from her playing, and so I kind of sat by her, and we just started having conversation, which led to me to to feel like a connection with her. It was like I guess the chemistry was there. It's not to say that I was trying to get with her or anything, but it was a naturally flowing conversation, a natural um, kind of chemistry there. And so, somewhere in between us having this conversation and us kind of connecting, I just remember two white old faces. They approached her, me and another young lady. She wasn't that young, but like she was young. Like I say in their late 20s, early 30s. They approached us not really stating who they were, why they were there, where they came from. And the young lady that I was with, she was of Asian descent. If if I'm not, if I'm being totally honest, I know it was of Asian descent. So that's already odd that two old white women, old, what I mean by that, they were seniors, and their faces were, they didn't have the happiest of friendliest of faces. And I could tell she kind of got nervous. She started to stutter over her words, which she hadn't done at any time during our conversation. So she started like trying to introduce us. And it was kind of awkward because I was just like there talking to these, they weren't friendly. They weren't really friendly. But I was still, yet I still, because of who I am, you know, and I took it, I didn't really think much of it at the time. So I remember even kind of like trying to joke with them, just try to, lighten up the air, lighten up the tension that you could feel. And she kind of just got up and left with them, you know, and it was like, it left us at a, just, I guess we just said, oh, it was nice meeting you, and that was it. Like, it's kind of like they just, it was like a, it was rushed. And so, mind you, we're at this Metro Park, and about 50 feet in front of us, well, about 10 feet was in front of us is like a playground, and then about 50 feet from there, it's a trail, you know, with the woods. It goes, the trail goes into the woods, and they just kind of disappear off into the woods, but it's a trail, it's a path. Now, fast forward a little bit, 5 minutes passed by before I actually got up, and me and my family actually walked the trail. And, you know, 5 minutes, you would think 5 minutes is not that much of a time for someone to just disappear. So we actually just, we were going to walk that path anyway, the trail. So after that 5 minutes, we walked the trail, we walked the whole trail, and I haven't seen her. I never seen her again after our conversation and after that interaction. So my whole point in this story is, this was an interaction that I felt like was, you have these, everyone has these interactions and these people that come into their lives for reasons. We get that, for specific reasons that may not reveal itself until later on, why you met that person or why that person said this, or sometimes it's for a lesson, sometimes it's to teach us something about ourselves or for growth. But I can't for the, any sake think why for any other reason why that person came into my life and we had this this bond or this chemistry, for it to just be like kind of, you know, handled in such a way that it was handled, where the inner the natural human, you know, interaction was just like ripped apart. It was kind of like ripped, torn. And I always think like, what if this was like a soulmate or anybody, and then these two handlers just came. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm basically saying, like, if you're a chosen one, and if you ever noticed anything like that, how it it dawn, it sticks with you. Those kind of experiences and interactions never like really leave your psyche and your mind. It's left this impression on you, and you don't forget it. So this is one of those things that I could never forget. And you know, I just wonder, like, is there anybody out there who has anything similar, or can like shed light to this, to anything of that kind of sort? Has anybody ever went through something like that, where it was kind of the word that keeps coming to my mind is altered. Like, if their reality was altered in any kind of way, please share, please shed light on this. Because I kind of take it, because it was not the first time something like this happened, but I kind of associate it with like the Matrix for some reason. Like, we're in this Matrix, and it was like, it was simulated. It was like those two women could have been her handler. And you get what I'm saying? Like, say this was my soulmate. They came in. It's like something off of the Truman Show. They came in order to interfere with something that they knew was like part of something that they knew that would like kind of leave an impression on me, leave an impact on me. And like I said, like, yes, she told me she was married, but she seemed so welcoming. She seemed so, you know, open to have a conversation with me and to get to know me, and the feelings were just so natural. And I'm not saying like I fell in love or anything. I'm just saying, like, I still to this day don't know why things happen like that. And yeah, some things just happen. Some things, you know, there's no deep reason to, other than it was just something that happened. I understand that, but there are things that happen, and people never forget, never pretty much can explain, but they know that it happened with some kind of intention or some kind of reason or purpose behind it. But if anybody comes across this, they can shed light on this or can give any insight, or if they've been through something similar, please share. And I appreciate it. I didn't mean for this video to be 15 minutes, but that's kind of you know, how the cookie crumble. So yeah, I appreciate you for taking the time out to listen. And if you get this far and you actually share a story, just know that I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna reply to you, and I do appreciate you. All right, bye.